Hello everyone, it's Al Nygren, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, back with our filmmaker interview series. This will be the last of our filmmaker interviews for the spring of 2014. And as you may or may not know, the New Jersey Film Festival is very atypical as far as film festivals go, in that we screen over a longer period of time on weekends, on select days. So our festival will run from January 24th through April 27th on select Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. If you'd like information, go to njfilmfest.com, click on where it says schedule, and work your way all the way down the page, get information about all the films that we're screening and where to go, how to buy tickets and stuff like that. But today we have Nate Dappen here, co-director of the amazing environmental documentary, Snows of the Nile. Tell us a little bit about this amazing documentary.
So about 2,000 years ago, a geographer and philosopher named Ptolemy, he had heard rumors about these snow-capped mountains in Africa that he called the Mountains of the Moon, and he thought at the time that they might be the source of the Nile River. But it wasn't for about 2,000 years that these mountains were actually confirmed. Europeans hadn't actually found the mountains until the 1800s. And a really famous expedition to go climb the mountains, which were actually, they're called the Ruwenzori Mountains, and they divide Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. This guy named the Duke of Abruzzi mounted this amazing expedition to climb these mountains. And that expedition was one of the most famous mountaineering expeditions that happened in the early 1900s. And it's one of the few places in the world where the mountains are high enough that they have glaciers at the summits. And this is right on the equator. So it's a pretty amazing place. But over the last century, 80% of the glaciers have disappeared. And the amazing thing is that in 1906, the Duke of Abruzzi really wanted to show the rest of the world this amazing place, and so he hired this photographer named Vittorio Sella to go with them on the expedition. And Vittorio Sella was a really famous photographer at the time, and he documented the trip extensively. And so our film is about us retracing the steps of this 1906 expedition, taking the exact same photographs that Vittorio Sella took in the exact same places to show the world what a century of climate change has done to this place. And it's also a film about, it's a buddy's film. It's me and one of my best friends and business partner. And my dad, I actually grew up in Nairobi, and so my dad had climbed the mountains when we were living there, so it was a cool thing for me to be able to go do as well.
Yeah, you can tell that you had a lot of fun making the film. And it's a relatively short film. It's about 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
And yet it serves as the perfect entree into the second film, which we've already had the interview with Catherine Brabeck and her surfing documentary, but they both touch on climate change. And in fact, your both films heavily emphasize the fact that the planet is changing in terms of climate. And when you see the two photographs come side by side, your mouth drops open, because you realize that, people who have these theories that there is no such thing as climate change would be sadly mistaken once they saw these pictures.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like these days, the main debate isn't whether it's happening. It's of course happening, and I think you can see in films like Chasing Ice, which came out last year, and in our film, where you have these glaciers that have been there for 15, 20,000 years, and they're gone in a century. I mean, these glaciers on the Ruwenzoris will be gone in 20 years, right. Probably less. And it was pretty wild to be, you can't really see it in the film, but on our website, if you go to snowsthenile.com, once the film actually comes out, we'll show some of the photographs, the before and afters, and you'll see that in the huts that we were staying at, there was over 100 feet of ice that was there 100 years ago. And that 100 feet of permanent ice, this isn't like a winter summer kind of thing. This was there all year long, and it's gone, and it's sad, and it's really influencing the people that live there. There's really erratic floods that are happening all over the place because there's no glaciers to absorb the moisture. Malaria is happening at higher altitudes because mosquitoes can survive at higher altitudes than they could before. So there's a lot happening there, and I think this was a kind of a new angle, showing people visual evidence of this happening, and I hope that people, appreciate the message.
Well, I think one of the reasons our film festival exists is to inform and educate. I mean, it's to have fun too, but we really want not only to bridge cultures, to turn people on to spaces, places they've never been to before, and your film kind of does that all by itself. So, folks, if you want to see this amazing film, it's going to be taking place on Friday, January 31st. It's the opening film of 2 documentaries that will be taking place in our state-of-the-art facility, Voorhees 105, which is on the College Avenue campus of Rutgers University. And Nathan will be there to take questions and answers, so you have the added benefit of not only seeing some wonderful films, but also interacting with the filmmakers. And you know, our film festival is very grassroots. Although this particular film screening will probably sell out, if you're interested in getting tickets, don't wait, do it right away. And that way you can also interact with the filmmakers, ask them some interesting questions, and get more personal information across directly to the filmmakers. So that's one of the benefits of the New Jersey Film Festival. You want more information, folks, come to njfilmfest.com on your computer and click on schedule for more info, or you can call us at 848-932-8482. Thanks so much for coming, Nathan.
Appreciate it. It's a strange thing to visit a beautiful place that you know will disappear.
For most of recorded history, the Ruwenzori's have been a pretty mysterious place.
Everything about the mountains defied expectations. We just had to see this place.
The glaciers of the Ruwenzori's were already 80% smaller than they were a century ago, and some scientists were estimating that they would be gone in less than 20 years.
A lot of times people think that, oh, you know, I'm only one in billion people, but a long journey starts with one step.
If we could retrace the steps of this 1906 expedition and recapture Vittorio Sella's glacier images, then we could show people how much this place had changed.